Hey everyone! Today we're in Colorado Springs and exploring several stops around the area. If you're traveling around the Rockies, you may want to add this part of the state to your itinerary. We're only about an hour and a half away from Denver by car. Our stops in this video take us to Garden of the Gods, which is a sprawling 1,300-acre nature center with trails to hike and explore, and then to a ghost town museum. Both are located in Colorado Springs. After that, we'll road trip out a ways to visit former mining towns. First stop will be Cripple Creek, which has a great heritage center as well as casinos, although we didn't do any gambling on this trip. We'll then head over to a slightly smaller former mining town, Victor, to walk around and pop into a couple shops. And in between, I'll get to see my first Thomas Dambo troll in person. We'll visit Rita the Rock Planter. You can see that our trip is sort of a loop, so it's not a bad drive to these spots from Colorado Springs. You can also take a train ride up to Pikes Peak. We had every intention on doing that, but the weather was overcast on the mountaintop, and I didn't think we'd get the best views on this day. We'll save that for our next trip. Here's Garden of the Gods. This place has incredible rock formations you can get up close to, and you'll have sweeping views of the mountains in the background, including Pikes Peak, which I just mentioned. What's great about this place is it's free to visit. We're here in May, and although there are crowds, it isn't heavily filled with people. My guess is there's several times throughout the year when it does get busy. Be sure to visit their website for more information about the area, days and hours everything is open, and best times to come here. Our first stop is the Visitor Center to park and learn a bit more about the garden, from the time of the dinosaurs up to current day. In addition to information about the geological formation of this place, there's quite a bit to learn about the wildlife that can be found.
Look at this turkey. It is. It's very sad, but he may have died of natural causes.
Probably not.
Well, let's hope he did. Ooh, rattlesnake. Boy, even in death, that's very intimidating.
So are you saying then back up in here somewhere?
Yeah, we're right down here.
There are different ways to explore the park. You can join a vehicle or Jeep tour, you can hop on a Segway tour, and you can also mountain bike. We chose to explore on our own.
I think we want to go across. If we want to try and do either this.
In addition to maps that are well displayed on the trails, you can also see where you are from resources online. Be sure to bring water. Depending on the time of year, it can get hot, and the dry mountain air also causes dehydration. I'd also suggest sunscreen. When I got here, the weather was a bit chilly, and I should have known it would warm up. I also should have realized that I would warm up. I needed to take off my rugby and go with just a t-shirt, and it would have been nice to have sunscreen for my arms. Also, wear comfortable shoes. If you're staying on the main walking trails like we did, I think sneakers or well-arched sandals like Tevas or Keens would be fine. If you're looking for more strenuous hikes, be sure to wear proper gear.
Garden of the Gods is walkable or drivable. And I think even if you're driving, you're still going to appreciate most of what you see. This is very well maintained. Look at this footpath.
Hike ahead. Oh, yeah. Yep.
The part we were in allowed us to see the kissing camels. This formation is fairly close to the visitor center.
far, no wildlife. I have not seen a snake or a jackrabbit. And the only deer we've seen were in town, in somebody's front yard. 1 buck and 3 doe.
Other than birds, we didn't really see any wildlife. My guess is there were just too many people around for animals to come out into the open.
Haven't seen any, but there it is. That looks exactly like the taxidermed rattlesnake we just saw in the visitor center. Even a drawing of it is intimidating. Little fluffy clouds. You might still see them in the desert.
Like most sites, getting here early in the morning, later in the evening, and off-season will allow you to enjoy the area more for yourself. A large portion of this park is now a National Natural Landmark, and a few of the rock formations are well known.
The only one was snow.
Notice the sign that reminds you not to climb above 10 feet without proper equipment and permission. So how did this place get such an interesting name? Well, 2 surveyors from Denver came down here in the mid-19th century, and one of them thought it looked like a beer garden for the gods.
Or that way. Maybe it's
The name stayed. It eventually ended up in the possession of Charles Eliot Perkins, who thought he might run a railroad to Colorado Springs. That railroad never happened, and in the early 20th century, after Perkins' death, his children decided it should be gifted to the city so anyone can visit it and nobody can build on it. More than 100 years later, we still have this gift for us to enjoy. Another great place to visit is the Ghost Town Museum, and if you're traveling with children, they'll really love it. Basically, it's a western town recreated inside a building, so even if the weather isn't great, you can still enjoy it. You'll see so many antiques as you peer into the shops down Main Street.
Walking straight down Main Street. What is that? Never would have guessed it.
You can stroll down Main Street and stop in the general store, the post office, look inside the town hotel, and place some phone calls. Let me show you.
Look at those old flags. Trough for your horses. General store. The general store. You see?
Makes you glad for an ordinary day, doesn't it? Mm-hmm.
How bad could life have been if they had Coleman's mustard back then?
This is great.
That's risque. Oh, wow. Let's see what happens when we press this one. Very interactive.
If you ail or ache, you have come to the right place for relief. Even if you are not sick, this is
You can also pan for gold.
Let's give this a whirl. I'm not seeing any gold. There's no AU in here.
The museum is kind of interactive, and the cinema shows a movie about the migration west and how towns like this were settled.
As soon as the news reached the East Coast, the stampede west began. Gold. By every means possible, thousands set out to make their fortunes. Never mind.
Finally, there's a shooting range, and for a couple of quarters, you can take shots at random items and critters relevant to this town and the time it's preserved in.
you're ready to shoot.
But now let's head out of town. Our first stop is Cripple Creek. As you approach from Colorado Springs, you'll see the Cripple Creek Heritage Center. Here is where you'll learn about the town, the area, the mountains, and the wildlife.
Yeah, the trucks are definitely going. Selfie in front of the Rockies. Want to get a photo too? They designed this well. Look at the view out the window. Where's Kilimanjaro? Click Mount Everest. There we go. Denali, and where are we? All of a sudden I feel short.
Pikes Peak.
Way down there.
Yeah.
Although it's still 14,000 feet. What do we call people who study dinosaurs? I know that. Because I think when kids are 8, they all want to be one. Look at that mountain lion. And well, this is where we're going to eventually. That's our next stop. Look at this diorama.
I mentioned there are casinos in town, but there's more to do than just that. Unfortunately, we were here in mid-May, and on this particular day, not everything was open. We did stop to take a look at the train ride that begins near the Cripple Creek Museum.
Oh, it's closed? I wonder if we're just a little, we're here before the peak tourist season. I bet after Memorial Day, the hours are better. Well, that's too bad. Well, here, we can learn something with this. Should we see who this sculpture is? Unfortunately, I think we're here just 2 weeks too early. Okay, back to the car and we'll head to Victor.
We were then off to Victor, but we first pulled off to see Rita the Rock Planter.
Yes. Well, yeah, we do walk a bit.
In 600 feet, keep left.
Think she's this way?
This way.
It's Rita. And here is Rita planting her rocks. These are much cooler in person than they are online. This is terrific. Isn't this amazing? She's planting rocks. She's big. And I'm surprised we're allowed to get this close to her.
The artist, Thomas Dambo, creates these trolls around the world from recycled, upcycled, or discarded wood. They have a message, and Rita's message is she's planting rocks in abandoned mines that were dug by us to look for gold. Her idea is if she plants rocks in the mines, nobody will fall into one.
Let's get a shot of her through the trees. It looks like she's looking right at you.
Be sure to look at his troll map to see if there are any nearby in your future travels.
Rita the Rock Planter.
We pulled into Victor on our way back to Colorado Springs. It's only a few minutes' drive from Cripple Creek. It's towns like this that really make you appreciate Colorado.
Victor, Colorado. Ooh, old books on Colorado. Old postcards. Is there one for Paul, maybe? I bet there is. Because these he could take back to England.
One of these two, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, look at the cats on the bicycle. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I think you'd like those.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe as I'll be adding more travel videos shortly.
The Henny, the mule.
That's funny.
Oh, I missed the caveman. There you go.
Game's over, partner.
Game's over, partner.
You want to shoot?
No. I think that's pretty good.